This video shows or describe better the meaning of taking advantage of others' work. Taking advantage has to be read as adding value to someone's work. We will show adding value to SMS reports for databases. The reports retrieve data using TSQL that can be seen using SQL Server Profiler or extended events. The result set of that TSQL scripts is then consumed by SSMS and displayed in the reports. I don't know SQL Server Management Studio rationale for choosing to display data like that, but seems they are consistent for a decade now. If I have to guess, is that Microsoft wants other people to experiment and creates their own tools which display data as they want. Another reason might be that, will we provide them Excel, Azure Data Studio, if they don't like the reports in SQL Server Management Studio? Another reason might be to not keep all eggs in a single basket, since they created Desktop Power by also, which can retrieve data from almost all sources. Regardless of their rationale, I chose to believe the one that bring wins to all parts involved. Hence, I decided to create something which can add value to other people's work, but in the same time allows me to be more than the end user of their work. Those being said, I decided to give myself the opportunity to display the data in more ways than SSMS does, to chart the same data if needed also, and to try to answer, I found myself asking whenever I need to perform my job as a SQL Server DBA. Some of the charts for some of the data might look okay, but if I need more options for the chart, I have to use the chart feature or single chart feature, which allows more options and more chart types than the charts you have seen up to this point. You might say why for any data grid or result set I cannot have all the features, and there's a simple answer for this, and the answer is that when I started to work to my application, I knew nothing about the destination, but I knew one thing, and that thing was that I want to be able to chart data like Power BI does, but for smaller result sets and for real people and not stakeholders. My goal was, and is that the application to be helpful for 20% of the people doing 90% of their tasks. In my 20 years working in IT, I never had to use advanced Excel functions or other features that makes professional applications suitable for 100% of the people doing 100% of their tasks. For next minute, you will see me trying to chart some data. Although not shown in this video, I can tell you that some of the actions in GUI are not tested and might not behave like users expects because the work done was done in random order. For example, you see that when clicking numeric columns on the left side, they are added to values similar with what Power BI does, but when unchecking them from the left side, they are not removed, and users needs to use other options for removal, for which I have written the code and tested it. As mentioned in the notepad earlier of later in the video, this doesn't make the feature or the application less usable. It just shows that there is hard for a single person to do everything in his free time as a hobby. Let's continue with other example of adding value to someone's work. Brent Ogier and Chrissy Lemaire for SP Blitz and DBA tools respectively. The output of SP Blitz and DBA tools is useful by itself, but same applies for SMS query for reports. You can obtain more insights from the output and consume it and export it in other formats depending on what you decide to implement in your application. On top of what's shown until now for SP Blitz, I decided to add in web browser control to open the links side by side with the report. The last thing to show was adding value to DBA tools. I have chosen to show categories for all the cmdlets, to search and display the cmdlets that contains in their name specific string, to search after specific cmdlet after specific string, and to execute the get cmdlets and do more with the result.